Today we're making spicy calamari. You could call it Diavolo, you could call it marinara, you could call it arrabbiata, with squid ink pasta, coming up right now. In this episode, we're going to learn how to clean and cut calamari, how to make a really simple sauce with garlic, white wine, a little hot pepper, and San Marzano plum tomatoes. And we're just going to toss that calamari in there. It only takes a minute or two to cook. Mix it in with the squid ink pasta, and then you're all set. We'll go over all of the ingredients, and here's that list right here so you can glance at it. But I'm going to go over each one individually, and the first one is San Marzano plum tomatoes. Anytime you buy calamari, most of the time, 95% of the time, it's going to come frozen, and then you let it thaw, and you should always go over it because, oh, and by the way, here's that pasta. So I didn't show it. That's squid ink pasta. It's just regular pasta that's dyed with the squid ink. You can use regular pasta for this too, but let's get back to the calamari. So here's a tube, and you always want to reach in here. There's a thing called a cuttle bone, which is at the point of it, and every so often I'll get one. So I'm checking for that now. The other two parts are the guts and like the eyes, the head, and the beak, but they're rarely ever there. But the cuttle bone you always got to look for, and right here, I found one. I was actually glad that I found one here so I could show you it. And there it is. It's a clear pointy thing. It almost looks like plastic. You see that? That's inedible. You have to remove that. It's easy to find because it's hard. So you stick your finger in there and remove it. And here's the tentacles. I want to cut all these pieces up into kind of manageable bite-sized pieces. So these really long tentacles, I'm just going to cut off. You can chop them up still, put it in there. And any big tentacle, that I'm going to cut it in half, which like down the middle, which will make it more manageable to eat. Because I want those to be relatively the same size as the tubes that I'm cutting here. And I'm cutting the tubes into about 1/4 inch wide pieces. The smaller the tube you get, like that size, the smaller the tube you get, the more tender they normally will be. So you could use really big ones, but I do like to find the ones that are smaller. Calamari's all prepped now. We're moving on to the garlic. Just with the back of your knife, I'm gonna use about 5 cloves. Just back of your knife, hit it, and you can remove the skin very easily like this. Now you can mince this garlic, you can chop it, you can even leave it whole and remove it. You can do a bunch of things. I'm gonna slice it. Not an ultra thin slice, just kind of a moderately thin slice. And just work your garlic and put it in a little bowl, get that off to the side, or just keep it on your cutting board. I'm gonna move on to the parsley, and parsley we're gonna use to finish the pasta. So it's not gonna cook at all. And for that reason, I want to remove all the stems. And you could discard them, or if you have a bunch, you could save them for like a chimichurri that goes in a blender. But for this, just give it a mince, and you don't have to mince it as fine as I'm doing. A lot of these things are personal preference, but I do like the parsley on the small side. I'm gonna get that pasta in. I'm showing it. I'm gonna get it in the water now. This whole dish takes like 20 minutes. It's a very quick dish. So keep the heat on medium-low and coat the bottom of the pan with a lot of olive oil, probably like a 1/4 cup. Add your garlic in and saute it for a couple minutes to get it lightly golden, to bring out that delicious garlic flavor, but you don't want to burn it. You can just move your heat down if you need to. And there's some dry white wine. That's Pinot Grigio. You could use Chardonnay. When I say dry white wine, I mean not sweet wine. About a 1/4 cup of that, and about a 1/2 teaspoon of the hot red pepper flakes. This is a matter if you like it really spicy, add a ton more. This dish is great spicy. And let that wine cook out for a couple minutes to reduce most of the way. And then you can lower your heat back down to about medium and add in the plum tomatoes. I ran these through a blender, pulsed them to make them, uniform. But you could also use your hand and crush them like you've seen me do in the Sunday sauce and other episodes. and just let it cook for about 5-10 minutes. Let these flavors come together. Taste it. Put any salt, any more salt you need, pepper. Get that sauce tasting good. I'm going to use about half of the sauce here. Going to use another clean pan, medium to medium, about medium here. You're going to add the calamari in, and they're going to cook quick. You can only cook calamari really one of two ways. You can cook it long time braise, or you do it really short. If you do it in the middle, you're going to have tough calamari. So there you go. They're done. Took about a minute and a half, and I just tasted one. So my pasta is very al dente. Put a little bit of the other sauce in the same pan we used. Give it a toss. Mix it all around. And just once it's good, taste test it again. Turn that heat off. Yep, and I'm taste testing with a fork. This is the best thing you can do. Just always taste your food. Add that calamari back in. So it's going to be tender now because it only cooked for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Give it a toss. And you want to get this, get that parsley in. You want to get this like plated up quick, so everybody can eat it when it's nice and hot, and then it doesn't go tough. Shrimp fried Diavolo. That's another awesome spicy seafood dish. Mussels marinara. You guys are going to love that one too. Well, I hope you would love it. Shrimp oreganata and shrimp scampi. Thanks for watching this. I will see you next time.